Hello, everybody. Yours truly is back. Don't even ask. It's been a journey of me being so lost. I couldn't get my way out of a paper bag if I tried. Some would call it dark night of the soul, where you lose faith in your guidance, etc., because my guides have not been talking to me lately and have been encouraging to follow me, to follow my inner calling. And that's not what I was doing. I was listening to the astrology. I was listening to the fact that I need money, which is, as a to have a job, which is still the case. I still have a part-time job. I've just realized now that sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side, and sometimes you have to get to the other side to realize you were actually where you should have stayed and all along, if that makes sense. So I am back, and hopefully this is here to stay because I've realized as much as true crime stresses me out, pretty much most things these days can stress me out. And so it's up to me to control the energy coming in and the energy going out. So I am here again resuming true crime, but I'm going to do it a little differently. Today we're going to do an update on Jack and Lilly. I want to update you on what I emailed the RTMP a couple days ago. And I want to do a reading on what's going on there with Jack and Lilly. And I also want to let you know what's going on with the crazy neighbor. And so, yes, I will be back doing true crime, but here's the thing. I cannot do the same cases over and over again. I find it intellectually not stimulating, and there's only so many tarot readings I can do, which is why I added the live streams where we would just talk about the cases. However, I realize that's hurting the algorithm. So we are going to go back to true crime readings only, and for now, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to work on this until I, don't need to. I'm going to work on this with the part-time job rather until the job is no longer required, and then I will start a second channel. I am still writing, but I wanted to let you know about the neighbor situation. For those of you that missed it, it's October 12th in Canada. It is our holiday Thanksgiving weekend, and I am thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for the eye-opening experience that I've had to make me realize that I was where I belonged all along, although the energy for me has been intense with my mom and the neighbor and everything else. That it was really just a matter of tweaking the true crime so that it's something that I don't get exhausted with. The more I follow a case, the more connected I get to the victims, to the missing children, and it gets to be personal and emotionally exhausting when I'm not able to do anything with what the incoming impact messages are that I'm getting, like on a professional level. Like, having the RCMP actually listen to me was a big deal for me because other than the Find Me group where I volunteer, you know, um, most police officers aren't interested in talking to people like me. So, or many, that is. And the ones that do so in secrecy, truthfully. So, anyways, I'd like to say you've all heard that before. So I'm back, but I'm going to do it in a way that I can manage more energetically. So we're not going to do lives for now. I'm just going to do these pre-recorded readings. And because the table I have set up doesn't really show my shuffling, I'm going to do it this way. So I'll shuffle and you can see the cards. And but yeah, going back to, so let's get to that in a minute. I want to talk about the video that went out on Daphne's case files of a statement that was just released from Malaya. And Malaya, if you're watching this, I have said from the very, very beginning, before anybody else was saying it, I was saying that I believed you were innocent. I was saying that I believed Daniel was an abuser. I was saying that you may have had people in your family do things, that you didn't plan yourself. I have been standing beside you from the very beginning, and I still am committed to that statement. I'm also not sure yet how much Daniel really knows. I put that case on hold for a little bit for my own well-being. But I really do believe Janie, of all of you, are the one holding the cards in that family. that knows the most. So, Malaya, if you're watching this, I would welcome you an opportunity if you want to get your voice out there to be heard. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, I respect that, but I would give you an opportunity to come up and talk to the people on my channel about what went down, because I do believe there was rugs in the house. I do, and I said that before it came out publicly. I do believe that you were planning on leaving Daniel before this went down. I've said that many times before. And it doesn't make sense to me that you would want to take Jack and Lily and not Meadow out of that situation. And there would be no reason to create this elaborate scheme because they're not his kids. You could have easily taken them out of the house without having to, justify it, if you will. So we're going to get to that in a little bit, into the reading. I want to tell you first, the update on the RCMP, and then we'll get into the reading. So I did email them, the officer that I had been coordinating with, discussing things with, and he had to forward me to someone else as he's no longer working on the case. And so that has me curious because the statement that was released just a few days ago from the RCMP says that the cadaver labs didn't find anything, but they remain committed to trying to solve the case. I suspect that the officer I was communicating with wasn't really getting any more significant leads coming in. Hence, he got placed somewhere else. That's just what I'm guessing. But I did email the person that he copied me on. He CC'd me on and said, I forwarded your email to this person in charge of the case now, or in charge of leads or whatnot. And I did email him a few days ago suggesting, I think it's a him, that I was willing to help if they needed. And I haven't heard back. So I'm not anticipating that. I'm just sensing that the response from this person won't be as prominent as it was with the other gentleman who I spoke with. I'm sensing that there'll be no longer any communication going back and forth. That's just my first opinion or first impression, but we'll have to see. Anyways, for the update on the crazy neighbor. For those of you that don't know, I have since I found out that my neighbor had been given a key to the apartment several years ago by the landlords to do odd jobs for them. I don't think they realized who they were, letting into people's apartments. He broke into my Wi-Fi, definitely was in my apartment at least once, created a second account using the spelling of my name, has an IT background, and I prohibited and broke the modem actually and the Wi-Fi because I couldn't get in to my own Wi-Fi, but I was automatically one morning when I woke up placed into the one he created, which is very scary because I didn't need a password and I knew I didn't create it, and my internet provider confirmed they didn't create it. And there was the behavior of the pounding and the watching me constantly, etc. And so I finally called the landlord because I was reluctant to do so because they were friends, he had said. I was told that was a very loose term, but they did admit to having given him a key, and they did also confirm that yes, he did in fact break the collarbone of the boyfriend from the tenant 2 tenants ago that lived here. He broke his collarbone and threw him down the stairs. And so that was validated in that conversation, which terrified me. I asked for the locks to be changed and was told yes and then no because they didn't want to take responsibility for it. I think they were concerned about legal liability. So I said that I'm going into the police station, which I did, and was immediately told, okay, we're on our way to get the locks changed tomorrow, and it took them 2 days because they forgot there was another door in the back, which is kind of bewildering because they've owned this building for dozens of years, from what I understand. So the locks have been changed. I went into the police and was actually pleasantly surprised. The response by the police was outstanding, in my opinion. They looked at the evidence. They created a file. I have a file number with the card, the female constable I spoke with, and called him There were, I don't know if they orchestrated it that way. She told me they would call him the next day because it was the end of her shift and she had to create the file and upload all the conversation that we had in our little interview room and the evidence that I was showed her, and um, called him to say that this was harassment, and if he so much as looked at me the wrong way or talked to me, knocked on my door, text, like he can't text me because I blocked him, but you get it, like he would be charged. And so I feel a lot better about that. There was, on the Saturday, they were to call him a police officer just parked across the road, just down a couple houses. I'm not sure if that was in the event that there was a blow up, because I'm guessing they would know about him breaking the collarbone and throwing the guy down the stairs, because from what I understand, the police got involved. So I don't know if they were worried, but they definitely took it very seriously. And when I mentioned his name, there seemed to be a possible awareness of the name there. So I'm not sure if that was a good thing or bad thing, but they took me very, very seriously. And I feel very good about that. So far, we've had 0 encounters since they did pay a visit, or a phone placed a call, I should say. Okay, so now let's get into what's going on with Jack and Lilly, because I just want to know what's going on in the background. What are the RCMP's plans going from here? They've come out and said that they are not going to give up until they won't rest until they find Jack and Lilly. But if I'm right, and the leads that are coming in have washed away and pretty much come to nothing, and they've already stated that it's possibly a cold case, and they brought the cadaver dogs out. I'm just curious what their plans are. How are they going to resolve this case? What's the energy? What do they know? And we've done this reading before, but as you know, I never claim a one-time reading to be factual, because it's just not as accurate as when I get visions or downloads, or I'm communicating mediumship-wise with the spirit, through spirit. So I'm going to do another reading, and let's just see what comes out on where the RCMP are at with the case, because, and I know some of you think that mom is guilty. I adamantly believe that's not the case. Sometimes silence is a statement, but sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes it's not. Okay, so somebody's been exposed. Also heard rumors that they were visiting Daniel at work. I've heard rumors that just in the last couple of days, because it was really not on the case, that Daniel's new girlfriend has come out talking about abuse. So let's just see. So far we have exposed, stalked, followed, exposed. Well, hopefully that's not the neighbor energy that the cards are still pulling from. So I'm just going to go into a quick meditation here, spirit guides. Please give me the energy that we need for accuracy. I'm going to stop shuffling until I'm done the prayer. I'd like to get some accuracy on the cards, please, Spirit, with where the RCMP are at with Jack and Lily's case. Okay, thank you. Really detailed, not to the benefit of my ego, please. Where are the RCMP at with the investigation of Jack and Lilly? Male. Natural disaster, unavoidable. Distraction. And we've got military operation. Now, don't believe that's a military operation, but there is some secret operation that was had, some sort of secret plan, if you will, to take the kids. I think this male is the person that's distracting the police, the operation. I think this male energy is distracting the police operation. And this could be the RCMP card, and that's basically what I'm getting. And that this did not need to happen. This was an unavoidable disaster. Let's keep going. I'm just going to get one more from this deck as well. One more. Spirit, what do we need to know? Where are the RCMP at with Jack and Lilly? Ego. Yeah, there's a big ego at play in the Forerunner, and I really get the energy now that they're really starting to focus in on Daniel. Now, he may not believe that. He may believe he's in the clear, but I think they're starting to look, you know, reevaluating their case and maybe looking at it from a different vantage point. Let's get some clarifiers on the distraction, please. Let's get some clarifiers on the distraction. You know, a lot of distracting conversations being had by Daniel, right? Six of Swords. Distraction. He's trying to distract them to take them in a different direction. Six of Swords is about moving to calmer waters, getting to the other side of the water, getting to the other side of the river, somewhere that is calmer than where you were at. And I think he was trying to move them away from himself as a suspect. Now, they have publicly said, I think, they've come out and basically said they don't believe either parent prior is involved, but I'm really sensing that they're now starting to perhaps reevaluate Daniel. And he wants to get himself out of this quagmire. He doesn't want the focus on him. And it could also be this distraction of looking the other way. So I do want to get another clarifier on that. Six of Swords and distraction, please, Spirit. Give me more on that, because I think he was trying to distract I believe he was trying to distract the police officers from looking in the right direction. Chariot. Yeah, they're trying. He's yes, Mr. Daniel, King of Cups, highly emotional man. I think he's trying to distract them from the car that perhaps either picked the kids up, so we're going to get some more here, or them being taken somewhere, or the I keep saying that the car that was heard between 12 and 5 a.m. by the neighbor, to me, feels ATV like. It was described as a 5-speed, but I just cannot help but really pick up that it was the ATV with the blanket and back and forth, and that those directions that they were placed on were a deliberate distraction. That's just what I get, and so I'm going to get some clarifiers on this Chariot with the distraction card, please. Let's get some clarifiers with the distraction and the Chariot card, please, Spirit. Eight of Cups. Yeah. He is trying to walk away from this and not become the one that's being looked at or, exposed. But it feels like he has been exposed now. And yeah, they are definitely, he's trying to get away from this. He's trying to get the eyes off himself. And I think he's done the opposite, truthfully. But I think the whole point of this distraction was to have them looking in a different direction. And I don't know that it might have worked for a bit, but I'm not so sure it's going to continue to work. Let's just see. Let's see what the cards have to say about this. What is the final outcome here, Spirit, of the RCMP's release? Did he release the kids? Was he the one to release the kids? I need more clarifiers on this. Give me more clarifiers on this. What is the final outcome? Temperance, serenity. I think he thinks he's free. I want to know the outcome. What do the RCMP believe about Daniel's involvement? What do the RCMP believe about Daniel's involvement? They think that she is caring. Mom is caring. What do they believe about Daniel's involvement? The Fool, that he wanted a fresh start, or she wanted a fresh start. He became awakened to the fact that she wanted a fresh start. Yeah, that's exactly what I get. One fell on the floor. Oh, so they are making progress with their evaluation of Daniel. I said at the very beginning, and this is what's showing up again, she wanted to get away, and he knew that, and perhaps this was his thinking for keeping her there. Maybe that's what went down. But they are making progress. towards this Page of Swords, awakened. They are being awoken to the emotional King of Cups. Okay, let's keep going. um, who's represented in the ego card, please, Spirit? Let's find out who's represented in the ego card here. Let's get another deck. Let's get another deck. Actually, I'll just go with this one. Who's being represented in the ego, with the ego? Because, you know, it could be in the King of Swords. Okay, this is the law. This is the law. Getting a whole different energy here. Are they afraid to say that they went down the wrong path at the beginning? I'm getting there's a resistance to admitting that they really misread the situation at the beginning. Let's just get some clarifiers on this and see if that's correct, if that's what I'm picking up. We've got ego and endurance. The King of Swords is law. Is that what is going on? Are they feeling a little battered and bruised with their egos because they totally took the wrong direction with this case? Let's get some clarifiers, please. Let's get some clarifiers, please. Spiritual guidance from harm. Someone extremely stubborn and willing to change. And now we've got peace and harmony. We had peace and harmony earlier. But I feel like the wind chimes really represents, again, I'm reading intuitively, a change in the direction of the case, a change in the wind. It's almost like maybe, I don't know, somebody came down, maybe some guides have been coming in, talking to spiritually to some of these RCMP investigators, maybe who are stubborn and don't want to admit that maybe they have this case wrong, looked at it incorrectly at the beginning, and maybe their guides, the RCMP active investigators in this case, are coming in and really trying to prompt an intuitive willingness to look differently at the case. That's what I'm getting. Let's keep going on this, please. Hang on. Okay, these keep falling out. I don't do sloppy falls, I do flippers. So let's see. Let's get some more on this about the ego, the RCMP, please. Death, transformation. Yeah. So they are recognizing that the case is dead, cold, if you will, which is what they said. And now they're looking at it from new vantage points. Oh, there we go. New ideas. Wow. New ideas. Yes. So they are looking at it from a new viewpoint. Let's just see. Who are they looking at? Who are they now looking at? Okay, I'm going to assume that it's Daniel, but let's get clarifiers. Who are they now looking at? Who are they looking at? Who are they looking at? That was just the ego card that got stuck in here. Who are they looking at now is the main interested party. Okay, those ones flipped over. Eight of Pentacles, attainment. They are really working hard. They want to get this case closed. They are trying to join forces, the Hierophant, and they have transformed. So we've got these two that came out again, the Death and the Page of Wands. They have transformed. They've got a new idea. They're trying to work together. I don't know who they're working with, but they are trying to work together to work really hard to reveal what's going down, to find out what went down. This is good. This is good. Okay, I want some clarifiers on who the male energy is. I do feel that it's Daniel, but can we get a confirmation, please, Spirit, on whether this is Daniel or not? We've got, predator, male predator. Mountains. Okay, well, that's interesting because I did tell them that I had a vision of them being taken by a Uncle Larry, remember, heading in the direction towards the mountains, and light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, this is really very interesting because I also said that I felt that it was somebody that was initially supposed to help, but they didn't realize was a predator. And that is fascinating. I also have in my email updated them to say that I do believe, because I was given a vision, that in the one of the underground mines, there is a road that you can take an ATV by that would go into a tunnel to one of the older underground mines that has since been closed. But that the road entrance in was closed, blocked. And I've said this before on this channel, that I really get the sense that that road is not as blocked as they think it is. And now we've got light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I was given the message that, this closed tunnel, but like light peeking through, like there's the door there at the end of the tunnel that would go into the caves, to the mining caves, that can be accessed. So very interesting. Okay, I want to get some unavoidable clarifiers on this unavoidable disaster, please. So they're looking, so to go backwards, I don't think they're looking at Daniel, or they are looking at a possible predator. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on Daniel. I think Janie was involved initially. I just don't know how much he knew. Spring. So an unavoidable disaster that happened in the spring. Yeah, that's just talking about what happened in May, which was springtime. Okay, let's get some clarifiers. I want to get some clarifiers on the disaster piece. Let's get some clarifiers on the disaster piece. The whole deck's going over now on the floor. Family. And a journey. Yeah, a journey. Okay, they were taken away. They were taken away. And I really feel like there is some family involvement. I've said that before. Some unavoidable disaster happened, and so they were taken away. Yeah. Okay. So I've got this military journey here, the last one I want to clarify. I really don't believe that it's military, obviously. I really feel like it's more the RCMP that are being represented here. So let's get some clarifiers on this energy, please, Spirit. What do we need to know about this military operation, please, Spirit? What is going down with this military operation? Queen of Cups. They're protecting Malaya. They are protecting Malaya, I think. I really think they're protecting Malaya. But let's just keep going. That's just my sense here. I think they really, truly believe her. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. She might have been drinking and yes, doing drugs. I think this is my, overconsumption card, and could have been drunk and just like beside herself emotionally and frustrated. But that does not equate to removing your kids and staging this whole escapade, right? That's just, the one doesn't lead to the other. So I think they're more than aware that she was stressed out in the situation. Yeah, with the King of Swords, stressed out with him. Give me more on this military operation, please. Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, in their relationship, there was, look at how, yeah, look at how the focus is like this woman is cooking. She's holding up a recipe, but look at how in this card, there's a little mysterious man pouring, he's like almost like ghost-like, pouring milk. So I feel that while most eyes were on her and everything she was doing, in the background, there's this manipulation going on, this little secret in the background with a different energy other than hers. Let's get some more. And that is where they need to focus their energy on. That is where they are focusing now. I think they're taking their attention away from her and moving it elsewhere. Well, I think they've been doing that all along, truthfully. I don't think they believed she was guilty. Let's get some more Knight of Swords. Yeah, they're getting very clear about young energy, male energy. Let's get some more on this military operation. 10 of Wands. Stress, burden. Yes, she was trying to walk away from the heavy burden in that house. She was definitely trying to walk away. I do believe they have, right? This is Malaya. She was trying to walk away from this relationship. She tried to get away. She tried to get away. And I don't think he liked that. I really don't think he liked that. Let's get a final. I think the military operation is telling me that they are protecting her to a certain extent from the media because they really, I think they knew it was going down. A change is coming. A change is coming. So it's slowly turning around. The case is slowly moving forward. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And because this marriage was falling apart, and I think she could probably prove that she was trying to leave, that Daniel may have discovered that the night before this went down, and he's, yeah, beware of self-delusion. He has been trying to self-dilute that he had nothing to do with it, but I mean, look at the fire being blown all over the place. I think he's blowing a lot of smoke up everybody's, you know what. I don't really know the extent to which he was involved, really and truly, yet. I don't think he knew originally, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I think perhaps, I mean, it sounds contradictory that maybe Mum Janie offered to help with the problem, and I don't think he really understood the exact situation that was going to unfold. I do believe that. But let's get a final few cards, if you will, on where the RCMP are at. But it looks like it's moving ever so slowly, but it will, it's not going to always be this way. It will come around. We've got movement forward, travel. Yes, it will come around regarding a young male energy. They are trying to look at it exactly from a different perspective now. They are looking at everything from a different perspective. They've headed into a whole new direction with this case. Okay, everybody, do all the YouTube things, love and like. I'm going to do a Charlie Kirk reading next, and I hope you're all here for it. And I really miss y'all. I'm glad to be back. Love and light. Cheers.